Welcome, specimen. Right now, heat and moisture rise from your pores in an invisible, chemical plume. You are breathing, sweating, radiating an olfactory signature you cannot control. The skin is a boundary, a silent, defensive perimeter keeping the outside world at bay, maintaining the illusion of safety. Until it rings the dinner bell. This is a matter of volatile organic compounds and your inherited hemolymph script. An orchestrated somatic rebellion where your own genetic markers, your precise blood antigens, betray your exact coordinates to a waiting parasite. You have stepped into the humid evening air and felt the sting. You thought it was bad luck. It was a targeted extraction, mapped by a dermal betrayal that you can never wash off. Let us dissect this chemical surrender. To understand why the parasite selects you, we must examine the exhaust of your existence. Every exhalation is a beacon. As you respire, you expel vast plumes of carbon dioxide, trailing behind you like a heavy, invisible anchor in the air currents. The mosquito's maxillary palps, intricate, feathered sensory organs, detect this gaseous signature from over 50 meters away. You cannot hold your breath indefinitely. You cannot hide. The very engine that keeps your tissues oxygenated guarantees your discovery. Your lungs operate not just as bellows for survival, but as a broadcast tower for your own consumption. It is a slow, rhythmic cellular apostasy, your own metabolism actively betraying you to the darkness outside. But breath only brings the hunter close. To initiate the landing sequence, they require a more intimate, localized map. Examine your epidermis. You think your skin is an impenetrable shield, a clean boundary between self and other, but it is a highly porous protein palimpsest, constantly rewriting its chemical secretions. You sweat, even when resting. Lactic acid, uric acid, ammonia, and cholesterol. You secrete these compounds through microscopic pores, generating an organic cocktail that varies wildly from specimen to specimen. Those harboring higher concentrations of specific acids are simply deemed more palatable. You cannot scrub this biological signature away with mere soap. It is baked deeply into your baseline metabolic rate. Pause. Before the chemical extraction deepens, a brief word from your examiner. If this anatomy of fear is serving its purpose, subscribe. Every new subscriber is another specimen willing to study what was never meant to be taught. Another mind that refuses to look away. And if this case file deserves wider distribution, a like costs you nothing. It tells the algorithm where to send the others. We continue the dissection. The final lock is purely genetic. The red fluid surging beneath your dermis. Your blood group. The parasite possesses a refined, microscopic palette, and the empirical data is clinically clear. Type O blood is the preferred extraction. If you carry this specific antigen structure, you are roughly twice as likely to be targeted and punctured as those bearing type A. It is a phantom phenotype, a silent, inherited vulnerability that dictates your place on the parasitic food chain long before you take your first breath. Furthermore, 85% of human specimens are classified as secretors, meaning their bodies actively project their blood type chemical signature through their sweat and tears. You are bleeding information before the skin is even broken. The mosquito does not guess. It simply reads the diagnostic report your body willingly publishes, landing exactly where the data dictates. If the breath is the beacon and the blood is the prize, the landing pad itself must be prepared. We must examine the microscopic ecology of your epidermis. You are not a single organism. You are a walking continent, a teeming host of billions of bacterial colonies that dictate the very scent of your survival. This is the architecture of your symbiotic schism. The bacteria residing in the deep crevices of your skin, particularly on your ankles, feet, and wrists, feed upon the dead cells and sebum you constantly shed. In return for this necrotic meal, they excrete volatile organic compounds. They are the microscopic architects preparing the banquet for the parasite. If you possess a highly diverse bacterial flora, the competing scents mask your profile. But if your microscopic garden is dominated by a few specific bacterial strains, such as Staphylococcus or Pseudomonas, you become a beacon of vulnerability. The parasite specifically hunts these bacterial metabolites. It is a calculated micro-rebellion. Your own tenants are actively signaling to the predator, broadcasting your location to ensure their continued feast upon your decaying cells. Right now, millions of them are feeding on your surface. You cannot feel their microscopic jaws on your pores. You wash, you scrub, but they remain, breeding in the damp, dark folds of your unreliable flesh. But scent is only effective at a distance. When the parasite closes within a meter, it switches its targeting apparatus. It abandons chemistry for physics. The mosquito possesses highly specialized thermoreceptors located on the tips of its antennae. It does not just smell you, it feels the radiant heat of your living tissue. As your blood circulates, it warms the dermis from within. This thermal bloom is irresistible. The warmer you are, whether from physical exertion, pregnancy, or the simple consumption of alcohol, which dilates your capillaries, the brighter you shine in the parasite's thermal vision. It is the final stage of dermal entropy. The very heat that sustains your life guides the needle directly to the vein. The parasite hovers, aligning its proboscis with the hottest thermal fissure, finding the exact capillary where the blood runs closest to the surface. It does not guess. It measures the heat of your life, and then it drills. Let us observe the mechanics of the harvest. The parasite does not simply drink, it performs a complex microsurgery upon your vascular system. The proboscis is not a single needle, but a flexible sheath containing 6 distinct, razor-sharp stylets. 2 of these mandibles are equipped with microscopic teeth, designed to saw forcefully through your epidermis, tearing through the cellular matrix until they locate a suitable, pressurized capillary. It is a brutal, frantic excavation, yet perfectly masked from your awareness. As the stylets plunge into the dermis, the insect expectorates a complex pharmacological cocktail of saliva directly into the fresh wound. This fluid is a biochemical marvel, heavily laced with localized anesthetics, vasodilators, and anticoagulants. It actively paralyzes your local pain receptors and prevents your platelets from aggregating, ensuring a smooth, continuous upward flow into the parasite's expanding abdomen. You feel absolutely nothing as the blades enter. Your nerves are silenced by the very entity draining you. You sit there, completely unaware, staring at a glowing screen or breathing in the night air, while your life force is mechanically siphoned away, reducing your existence to a mere hemorrhagic footnote in the creature's reproductive cycle. The feeding protocol lasts for several minutes. To maximize efficiency, the parasite actively filters the water from your blood during the extraction, excreting the excess fluid immediately to concentrate the harvested red blood cells and proteins. It takes exactly what it needs to develop its clutch of eggs, detaches, and leaves its corrosive saliva behind. This foreign protein remains deeply embedded in your tissue long after the insect has departed into the shadows. It is a viral marginalia, a toxic inscription permanently stamped into the margins of your anatomy. Your immune system, ever the delayed and paranoid sentinel, eventually detects this chemical intrusion. It floods the localized area with histamines to combat the foreign proteins, causing the surrounding blood vessels to aggressively swell and leak plasma into the surrounding dermis. This internal flooding is the source of the induration, the raised, pale welt and the maddening pruritus that follows. The itch is not the bite itself, but your own body's violent, overcompensating reaction to the violation. It is a necrotic narrator loudly recounting a trauma that has already concluded. You will scratch. You will tear at your own outer layers with dirty fingernails, attempting to excise the memory of the parasite, only to engrave a permanent scar scripture into your flesh. The parasite wins twice, first by taking your blood, and second by forcing you to destroy yourself in its wake. We must now document the psychological rot that follows the physical breach. This is the clinical profile of compulsion. The parasite has detached, its abdomen distended with your stolen blood, but it has left a piece of its biology functioning autonomously within your dermis. The saliva is not merely a numbing agent, it is a localized bioblight, a highly engineered neurotoxin that actively rewrites your sensory input. Your immune system, blind and aggressive, floods the site with histamines. These defensive chemicals bind to the delicate nerve endings, transmitting a frantic, screaming signal directly up your spinal column to the somatosensory cortex. But the alarm is a flesh forgery. The predator has already vanished into the dark. You are reacting to a ghost, fighting a microscopic war that was lost 10 minutes ago. Yet, the sensation is absolute. It manifests as severe pruritus, a localized itch so profound, so all-consuming, that it demands physical violence to extinguish. Look at your own hand. Right now, your fingernails carry microscopic, jagged ridges, harboring dormant colonies of opportunistic bacteria. You cannot resist the urge to drag them across your inflamed skin. You tell yourself it will provide relief. It is a biological trick. The act of scratching serves only one master, and it is not you. By tearing at the welt, you induce a violent collagen collapse. You mechanically shatter the already fragile capillary walls, forcefully pushing the parasite's toxic saliva deeper into the surrounding, uncontaminated tissue. This physical trauma aggressively expands the radius of the inflammation. The sharp pain of the scratch temporarily overrides the itch signal in your brain, providing a fleeting, pathetic illusion of control. Your nervous system even releases a microscopic hit of serotonin in response to the pain, creating a twisted cycle of chemical reward for your own self-mutilation. But the friction only triggers a massive, secondary avalanche of histamines. It is total corpus corruption, a vicious, recursive loop where your chosen remedy exponentially worsens the disease. You are actively aiding the foreign protein, spreading it further into your own anatomy like a dutiful host. The parasite does not need to remain attached to command your actions. It has successfully weaponized your nervous system against you, compelling you to carve the evidence of your own submission deeply into your flesh. We have mapped the coordinates of your chemical vulnerability. You are not the apex predator of the evening air, nor are you an observer standing outside of the ecosystem. You are merely a vessel, an open biological ledger waiting to be read by the dark. The parasite holds no malice toward you. It simply processes the data you helplessly broadcast, the heavy carbon breath, The rotting microbial sweat, the exact, fatal configuration of your red blood cells. It takes what is rightfully promised to it by millions of years of adaptation. You are a walking reservoir, a lymph-stained archive offering up your ancient genetic history to the mandibles of the swarm. Every time you step into the humid dusk, you participate in a brutal, microscopic exchange. You think you are walking through nature, but nature is actively extracting from you. Right now, as you sit in presumed safety, your body is quietly manufacturing the very compounds that will guarantee your betrayal tomorrow. You cannot hold your breath forever. You cannot bleach your pores. Your belief in your own impenetrable skin is an inherited illusion of autonomy, a locked door to which 1 trillion winged thieves already possess the skeleton key. There is no cure for your own biology. The resulting welt is not just a passing irritation. It is a biological receipt. A signature left in cadaver calligraphy, confirming that your somatic defenses were breached, your neurological alarms were easily bypassed, and your internal resources were successfully harvested to birth the next generation of predators. They will remember your scent. Their offspring will inherit the metallic taste of your specific chemistry. You are not just a victim, you are actively feeding the future of the plague. Before this file closes, cement your place in the registry. If this autopsy of the evening air has revealed the truth of your systemic extraction, carve your name into the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and become a permanent fixture in the ward. Let a like serve as your thermal beacon, guiding the swarm of other curious minds to our dissection table. Drop a comment below detailing your own blood group, your own chemical surrender, so we may catalog exactly which of our specimens the parasite prefers. This specimen file is now sealed. The coil grows only when its specimens multiply. We are not finished. We have never been finished.